Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to build a building called Jack View, and it's going to look down on Jackdaw Hollow. And it's going to be a lovely big building, and it's going to be up here just on the side of the hill. So to start off with, I'm going to landscape a little bit. We're going to take away some and we're going to add some more, and we're just going to try and make two platforms, one platform 2 blocks below the other, because we want to build the house higgledy-piggledy. We don't want it to just be a simple square. So here we go, we've got the platform, and now I'm going to pop in the foundations and the stairway. So we'll start with the stairway, and we're going to have these stone brick steps going up to the house. And we're going to build a solid stone wall on the side, so it looks as if the steps are really solid all the way through. So we'll mix up the moss covered stone brick with the stone brick and the cracked stone brick, and the moss covered stone stairs with the stone stairs. And we'll also use moss covered cobbled stairs, it's a bit of a mouthful, and moss covered cobblestone to foot the side of the bridge to make it look solid. Now when you're using moss covered bricks, think of where they would be moss covered. So they would be more mossy on a damp edge. They would be less so in the centre of the steps, on a side where people would walk, because your shoes would clean them, would clean the moss off. So think about that when you build. And if it's a damp area, use the moss covered. So there we go. We'll put some more walling at the bottom here, and then we'll go up the side and tidy that up with some cobblestone. Do you see how just cleaning up the side with some cobblestone makes it seem that much more solid? And then one more piece of walling, and there we have it. Some lanterns to light it up. Right, now for the footings. You can find the footings on Minecraft Schematics and Planet Minecraft if you want to just download the schematics of the footings and build along. You can also find the seed for this world in the first of this series, on the video where we spruced up Jackdaw Hollow, all the buildings in the village. It's a brilliant seed. You spawn directly into the village. There's an enormous cave system right behind the village backs onto, down the side here, off this plateau. And if you go down the little river a ways, you'll find a zombie spawner. And you don't even have to dig for it, you can literally see it from the river in a little cave. So there we go, there's our footings. We'll put a little porch in here so we can have a veranda to view Jackdaw Hollow from. And I think that's fine. Right, let's get on with the build. So we'll start with the cow shed. We're going to put the animals underneath the house in the cellars. So on this side we're going to have a cow shed or a cow barn. And again we'll mix up all the stone brick to make it look a little bit more natural. I tend to build the walls and put the windows in afterwards. Now you don't have to follow my build exactly, you can take inspiration from the build and work it into the land that you've got. Maybe your hillside is slightly different to mine. Now I brought the walls up 3 blocks high, then I used walling on the end gable to put a window in for the cows, and then I went an extra block above that to bring it up to the 2 block high that I need in the cellar of the main house. I'll use upturned steps to create an archway in the door. We'll use pod salt on the floor of the barn because it looks like dirty straw that cows sleep in. We'll put some fencing up for the window and then some gate posts in. Then we just need water and straw, a couple of spider webs to decorate, and then some half stone blocks to create the roof or the ceiling. Now I'm going to put these moss covered ones here because this is going to be our little viewing platform, our balcony or veranda. And then I'll carry on and build the wall all the way around for our basement, our cellar. And in the little bit at the front there, just to the side of the door, we're going to put a little pig area in. A little pigsty. And again we're going to use the half stone blocks for the ceiling. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to put down some stone to finish off here. I'm going to take out a step because I went a little bit too high with the steps. There we go. And I'll use the moss covered cobblestone in here. And then I'll put some bars there, create a window. Fence and gates, then our straw and water, and we use different coloured carpet. We got the yellow one for the straw and the brown one for the poo. There we go. I like using the beehives for storage boxes, they look really good. Now we're going to go around and we're going to put steps, stone steps all the way around, and then we're going to fill that with the flooring for our main house. I'm using spruce boards here, and then I'm going to use stripped spruce on top of the steps so that it looks like the upper floor is wider than the lower floor, but it's not. It just looks that way because we put a step in the middle. It's a little bit of an optical illusion. There's the doorway to our veranda, and I'll use a couple of stone slabs to create a step. And I've used the signposts, the signboards all the way around to decorate at the bottom there, and then I'm going to use stripped cherry wood for the walls. And then the corners, again, I'll do in the stripped spruce. So I went up 2 blocks with the cherry wood, and then I've come around again for the 3rd block. Then another row of stripped spruce on top. and another row of, this is dark oak signboards. It stops it looking quite so flat, it gives it a little bit more lumpy bumpiness. Then oak steps and half blocks to create the veranda roof. We'll come round at the front there to finish it off, and then some half blocks on the roof to make it more stepped up. Oh, that looks really good. Now we're going to go around and use some of our fence posts and chain on the corners and on the spruce wood. Again, to give it more depth. We'll use the spruce trapdoors as shutters for the windows. Here's our travelling tradesman. Now some more signboards above the windows, so they look like lintels. And I used grey glass, light grey glass for the windows. Now I've put a walkway, because the main door to the house will be at the back of the house, so I put a walkway across in stone and some higgledy-piggledy stairs, which I haven't used steps, I've used half slabs to create the stairs. Then we'll use oak trapdoors to create a balustrade down either side. And I've used spruce wood doors there. And spruce trapdoors for the window shutters. But it looks like the doors are being lost in amongst the trapdoors there, so I may have to change those. Maybe put dark oak in. Then our grey glass for the windows. Yeah, dark oak looks much better. And again, our signboards for the lintels above the windows. Now it's starting to look better already. Now for the roof. Now I'm going to do the first row in cobble, and I'll go up the corners in cobble too. And then on the inside of that I'll use the light oak steps. And we'll also put a big V-shaped upside down or A-shaped window in the front. Now I'm going to square off the roof, even though the building's a little bit higgledy-piggledy. I'm going to make sure that the roof is an oblong shape. And once the first row of cobblestone is in, I will go around on the inside of that cobblestone and put a perfect oblong of stripped spruce. There we go. So you can see where it juts in places, and it will have jutted out a little bit on this front right corner, but it's swallowed up with the spruce and the cobblestone. Now the spruce boards for the flooring for the upstairs. I won't worry about where the stairs are going to go just yet. I'll just put the floor in and I'll put the stairs in later. We're also going to put some chimneys in. So we're going to have 2 fireplaces. So I'll make the holes for where the smoke is going to come through. Just counting to make sure I've got it in the centre. And then I'll put stone either side of the fireplace like that, where the chimney is going to come up, and then I will build it like that. I won't do a complete sort of square or oblong. I will leave the corners out and do it like that. Now we start building up the roof. Remember, cobblestone for the corners. And we'll use cobblestone and bring up the A-frame, and we'll probably use a bit of stone block as well to start off the A-frame window at the front there. I'll mark out where the centre is and then mark out where the edges are going to go. So that there is the centre, so I'll take that out now. I've decided how large it's going to be and I've marked out where the edges of the window are. And we can start building the roof into it. But I'll need a block on this corner. There we go. Then the next stone in the corner. It gets a bit complicated around the chimney, but you blend it in as best you can. There. That's the first row. And then we'll just keep stacking the rows up until we get to the top. We'll keep building the chimneys up as well. Once you get to this point, once you've made your opening for the A-frame window, it really is quite simple. You just keep putting row after row after row, and every row will bring you one row in, and eventually you'll make it to a sort of an A-frame window at the end. So we're nearly there. We have to build up this chimney again. And we'll build up the other chimney and bring this side in. It takes a lot of time and a lot of checking to make sure you've got it right. But it looks good in the end. If you do manage to get it right, it looks fantastic. And And then we want to carry that line of stone up, so we'll put another stone brick in there and then bring this corner around in wood. There we go. And then if we do the back, I think we'll find we're nearly high enough at the front. Now the back's a lot easier, it's just going to be a straight roof. But you can see the view of the village from up here, it's lovely. And the sun comes up there as well, right in front of the house. There we go. So we can see the top of the A-frame at the front is going to be a little bit higher than the back of the roof. But we're nearly there and we'll finish it off in stone. And on the inside we'll do some upturned stone steps. That's cool. A little bit of stone wall either side to fill in that gap. And then some grey glass, again floor to ceiling, on the inside of the arch. And then I think a little wooden balustrade on the outside. I better float out of here before I get trapped. There we go, there's our nice big arch. We'll put the balustrade in later. And let's bring the chimney up just a little bit more, and then we'll use some andesite walling with some black stone slabs on top, because the top of the chimney would be black where the soot comes through. Now I'm just going to go around and pop some more windows into the cellar area, and I'm just going to make a hole and put some iron railings in. And here we're going to make just a little sort of covered walkway down the side of the house, just to make it look a bit more interesting. Otherwise there's a big bare patch and I don't like big bare patches. So just like that, and we'll use some oak fencing on a bit of stone wall to hold the roof up. Oops, helps if I get it in the right place. There we go, that looks good. Right, now we'll put a pathway in all the way around, take us down to where the cows will be. We'll use some oak steps. This doesn't have to be in stone because it's the private area, so you wouldn't put expensive stone in where nobody's going to go other than the person who's looking after the cows. I'm putting some mud bricks down just to show where the cows are walking, because they would make the path really muddy. And then I'll take that down to the pasture land. So that looks really cool. Now, we'll do some more of the post and chain here. We're going to want a light as well, and we'll use start using our vines and our roots for decorating. This is where we bring the build to life. It's a bit bare at the bottom, so we'll put in the oak fencing, and we'll carry on with ferns, tall grass, vines and roots all the way around to decorate. Another lantern in here. I've put some azalea leaves in the corner there to create a bush. I'll put some stone pressure plates down on the pathway. Some fires right at the top of the chimney so you can see the smoke. And then I'll use some bone meal to put some natural garden in. Right, now for the fires inside. Some polished black stone, andesite walling for the cheeks of the fire and the fire breast. And I'll use some iron trapdoors to create the grills for cooking on, and some iron fencing across the front for the grate. I'll use a black banner with some white dye, and I'll put the banners up above the fire. And this is where I'm going to go up into the upstairs. I'll use a ladder and a step. You don't always have to have steps going upstairs. You can save room by having ladders. I'll light upstairs with candles. And this will be Mummy and Daddy's room. Again, we'll light it with candles. I think that looks cool. Yep, it's comfortable. And there we go, some signposts, on the bottom of the bed and on the wall. And we'll do the same with the children's room. And then we'll use these trapdoors, the spruce trapdoors, to create a wall. There we go, there's our doorway in. And for the parents' room, we'll put the wall up like this in the centre. And their doorway in either side. We'll create a hole here so you can just sort of nip outside to see the view. Pop a banner in. And for the sofas, you need light. So what I've done is I've taken out the stone, half stone brick for the roof in the cellar, and I've put in a cherry wood trapdoor. And then on top of that cherry wood trapdoor, I've sat the banner and then the seat of the sofa on top of that. And it's enough light to light up the banner to stop it going black. And this is our dining area. We'll pop in a little bit of storage, and we'll use some oak pressure plates so it looks like a worktop. And here we have it. Jack View. Yours may not look exactly like this, but I'm sure it's going to be lovely just the same. You can see the smoke coming up through the chimneys. If you do like my builds, please do like and subscribe. It means the world to me. And as I said, you can find the schematics on Minecraft's schematics and Planet Minecraft. You can leave a little comment if you like. It's been lovely having you here. And let's go and have a quick look inside. So here we have our storage area with our beehives, and that's where our piggies will go. There's our roots hanging down from the roof there. And let's go and see where our cows will be kept. So There's a nice big room there for our cows. And there, you could build a paddock down there. And now our higgledy-piggledy stairway that meanders up to the front door. Name of our house. Our lounge area. With an armchair. Our little office area with our piggy lamp. The kitchen. Now for the view from our veranda. And then we'll pop upstairs and have a look at our finished rooms. Mummy and Daddy. The fantastic view. And the kiddies' room. Thank you everybody for watching. See you again soon. Bye bye.